Hello, everyone, and welcome to Indie World, a look ahead at some great indie games coming to Nintendo Switch. I'm Kirk Scott, your friendly neighborhood indie guy, and this...
Kirk, you're a disembodied voice. Whoa, so am I.
You get used to it. Now, tell the good people who you are.
Right. I'm Katie Casper, the friendly gamer. Now let's talk games.
Throw in an extra dimension and a classic roguelike becomes a whole new experience. You can go it alone or squad up with up to 3 friends to battle monsters, score loot, and escape the planet when Risk of Rain 2 lands on Nintendo Switch this summer.
Who knew you could muster up a heartwarming adventure on a post-apocalyptic continent? Well, Chucklefish is making it happen in Eastward. A secret underground facility might seem like a strange place to find a young girl, but when the two of you explore the wonderfully weird world above, things will only get stranger. Will you uncover the truth of her origins? Find out when Eastward comes to Nintendo Switch in 2020.
Shoot 'em, punch 'em, smash 'em. In Freedom Finger, you can do all that and more.
Somebody get me a cold beer! Hoorah, hoorah, my comrades! So salty! You...
Freedom Finger blasts its way onto Nintendo Switch later this year.
Every dark fairy tale has its monster, and in this game, it might just be you. Making friends with wild creatures is only the beginning in this fairy tale forest come to life. Roque will tell its tale on Nintendo Switch this winter.
I say it's about time we grab ourselves some treasure, uncover some secrets, and fight some monsters. Now who's with me? Feel free to bring your friends.
The hero's work is never done. Hack, slash and loot your way through the perilous world of Torchlight 2. Coming soon to Nintendo Switch.
Me? A skater kid? In my mid-90s dreams? But skateboarding games are a passion for many players who've never touched a board. And the next evolution is here. With board control this advanced, you can perform your tricks your way. The possibilities will be off the chain when Skater XL grinds onto Nintendo Switch in 2020.
When life gets you down, defy gravity. Maybe you'll learn to see things from a whole new perspective as you rebuild the world to your liking. Turn your world upside down when the mind-bending puzzle adventure Europa comes to Nintendo Switch later this year.
Is it warm in here, or is this next game just turning up the heat?
super hot.
Get ready to shoot, punch, and slash your way through a world where time only moves when you do, because Super Hot will release on Nintendo Switch today.
The multiplayer tower defense gameplay that popularized the original Dungeon Defenders is returning in a brand new game. Travel back in time to where the series began in this brand new story. And speaking of time, Dungeon Defenders Awakened will launch first on Nintendo Switch as a timed console exclusive in February of 2020.
If you're like me, sometimes you need a vacay, but you just want to play games in bed. Your dream holiday is just a moment away, thanks to the latest game from Shinin. You can take the trip you always wanted when The Tourist comes to Nintendo Switch this November.
I'm always looking for an action-adventure game that changes stuff up. Here's one that lets you swap not just weapons, but body parts too.
Oh my goodness, what is this? All I see is rotten flesh. Who is there to save us now? It's a skeleton boy. Some smoky catacomb, mysterious places. Actors slash our enemies and never faces. Wait a sec, that's super gross. Why not wear it instead? Alright, cutie pie to pay. And put that on your cupid bed. Necromancer Helena, the princess couldn't care less. Show me some of all of hell. Get her attention. Can you feel the tension? Let me up and kiss someone and say no.
2D art meets 3D gameplay when Scaleboy hits Nintendo Switch on December 3rd.
I still kind of wish that dragons were real. But in Earth Night, they're not just real. They've conquered the Earth. Should I feel bad? Can you end the dragon apocalypse? Hey, that's your destiny to fulfill.
Ooh, I got a message. Hey, I didn't order anything from any bakeries, man. Katie, did you order some cookies?
Cookies? Wait, I think I know what's going on here. And it's better than cookies.
Both games in the Hotline Miami series in one download. You can savor every bite of this brutal action sooner than you think. The Hotline Miami collection for Nintendo Switch will launch on Nintendo eShop today.
Man, talk about game hype overload. But believe it or not, there are even more great indie games coming to Nintendo Switch in the near future.
What she said. Check these out. I'm afraid our video is coming to an end. On behalf of Nintendo, I'd like to thank all the developers for bringing their awesome games to Nintendo Switch.
I'd love to say goodbye, but guess what? We've got one more thing to show you.
Take a look.